Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to TCG University. It's me, Noah, here doing another deck profile for Midnight. One dot. I don't know if there's a two dot by the time whoever sees this, but it's Midnight one dot. She's a six-hander, 28 health, that says enhance, commit, discard any number of cards from your hand, or sorry, discard any number of cards, and draw one card for each card discarded, so you can refill your hand, or cycle your hand, sorry, words. Enhance, commit a foundation. This attack gets +1 speed or -1 speed for each of its keywords, playable while committed. We played this under Chaos. I've started to slightly love the attacks under Chaos just because I think Uraka's lineup is really good and the combo potential is really nice. So we're just going to get right into it. We started off with 4 copies of Pillar Swing. This card says that it can't be, if it's completely blocked, it goes to momentum, and then it can't be reduced below its printed damage. The damage can't be reduced below printed. So typically, you would play this, say it can't be reduced below printed if it's blocked as your next enhance, and then you can give it 4 speed because it has 4 keywords, making it a 7 mid for 8 as your first attack with stun too, which I think is insane. I think this attack almost always will hit if played properly. I don't think I played half of these as properly as I wanted to, but I really did enjoy the way this deck plays out, and I think this is a deck that people should look more into, or at least a character, which I'll get more into in a bit. Then we played 4 copies of Chariot Cavalry Advanced. I think the ability to give pluses to your checks is really nice, which this does. It gives damage as well, and it also says that all of your attacks get +1 speed other than this one. It also has 3 keywords, meaning it's technically a 6 for 5 at base. We played 4 copies of Training Knife Strike. It's so coincidental that we have Chaos and Void as my symbols, meaning I can fully utilize this card, meaning if they don't block it, they discard one. And if they do block it, they still lost the card anyways. It's also, with Midnight, technically a 6 for 5. We played some combos, so we played Float Combo. Float Combo is a ranged combo, so it only gets 2 speed off Midnight, which is still fine. That's 8 speed. That says Enhance, Combo Enhance, switches attack speed and damage. Nuts. So if we give it a bunch of speed, and we know they're not going to block it, we can use Midnight for the extra speed and then swap them over so they're eating a lot, and then enhance this attack is completely blocked, still deals 1 damage, so you still get the momentum off of it. And then as the last attack we played, because I really wanted to try this out, we played 4 copies of Giant Bite Detention, which has 3 keywords, ally stun 1 combo, which is combo enhanced. This attack gets 3 speed and 3 damage, so with Midnight it gets 6 speed 3 damage, and then enhance, shuffle 3 cards from either player's discard pile into their deck, which you can generally use if you want to shuffle attacks for bad checks because you know those are coming up, and or foundations so they draw dead. Or you can, you know, put attacks back into your deck if need be or anything like that. Moving on to the foundations, we played 3 copies of First Day of Class just so checks can pass easier. Also, if it's committed, you can kind of just flip and restand it, which is kind of cool. I don't know if I did that, but it is nice. I think we primarily use it just so we can pass our next check because we are playing some high difficulty cards. We played 4 copies of League Interview because it's a 6 check that gives +1 to a block if need be, and it also allows me to check my Pillar Swing. On a 5, I fully pass it instead of having to commit 1, which I think is really nice, and I'm like spurging on words. We're playing under Chaos, but we do have access to one of the coolest water cards in my opinion, Graceful Maneuvers. Speed Hate. Super simple, super good. No ifs, ands, or buts. I wanted to try this card out. Don't think I ever actually used it. We played 2 copies of Final Exam Failures. I could probably take it out. Enhance, flip your attack. Your rival makes a check against a 6. If they fail, they destroy a foundation. 2 copies of Mall Day to pick attacks up if need be. 4 copies of Hottest Performance Guaranteed. I think the reason I had this in here, honestly, was for the ability to give damage or gain 2 health. I don't think the -3 was really that important to me. 2 copies of Short Circuit to reset damage on attacks that are non-charges. 3 copies of Clever Distraction, just so we're able to have some speed hate. 4 copies of Infinite Potential, because I think we have a good amount of high blocks in this deck that we can use, and changing things to a high is nice, and it's really good spam. 3 copies of Struggling with Studies, because being able to pick up cards in your card pool after you block with them is just generically good in my opinion. 3 copies of Training with Gunhead, because we do modify the checks of attacks, meaning we can give our attack an extra speed as well. And if we're going against throws, we can make them 2 damage. 3 copies of Release, just so we can make our block checks easier and we don't get in deadlock, which is nice to stay out of deadlock. And then 4 copies of Requesting Assistance, just to restand foundations and continue on turns or continue on block strings. Midnight. I think this character is intensely cool. I think if you really wanted to, you can be nutso crazy and attempt to play her with Staff Strike, because if you can fit Staff Strike in something, why not give it a shot? Because her ability to commit for plus X amount of speed is really good, especially when you're playing cards that are like, oh hey, I'll just build this other foundation, and so it didn't matter anyways. Plus, with Staff Strike, you're allowed to cycle through your deck pretty quickly. That card allowing you to draw, plus her allowing you to ditch cards you don't want to draw, which I think is really nice. Overall, I like this deck, just like every other deck I build. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. They're really short, they're really sweet. I don't want to get too bogged down into all the unnecessary stuff. So, as usual, like, comment, subscribe, and as James would say, stay learned.